left off in 1959 where I told you I learned this stimulus response model by selling flowers door to door. If you haven't listened to Spiders, Snakes, and Mice, oh my, you should listen to that before you proceed to this. I want you to go to a website, www.angelfire.com. ANGELFIRE.com/BIZ/GJBIZ/Persuasion, capital PERSUASION.HTML. I'll repeat that at the end. But you should go to that now. AngelFire.com, biz, GJ biz, persuasion, capital P, HTML. And what you're going to see is the pictogrime of persuasion. Fast forward from 1959 to 1965 in the first week of high school. I was totally humiliated on the very first day of high school by a teacher, football coach named Sugar Bear, who designated me as the class cupcake because I had not come out for the football team. And over that summer, I had taken a job in a pizza shop, Papa Felice's, where I was making a whopping 75 cents an hour, and I stayed in that job for about 40 hours a week all through high school. Work that. But anyhow, this first week I also had a dentist appointment. And my dentist, I believe, was a Nazi refugee, Dr. Lohman, the corner of 4th and Portage Trail. I left school about an hour early. It was only a block away. It took like all of 2 minutes to walk down to the dentist, but I left an hour early to go to the dentist. Right across from Dr. Lohman was the office of Fran Renner. Fran was this incredible woman. She was practicing, she had a hypnosis practice back in the 50s and early 60s. That was unheard of. And she was one of the few hypnotherapists in the area. And she was a founding member, one of the only lay people for the Society of Ethical Hypnosis. And back in the 50s and 60s, this was all doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, and then Fran Renner. Fran saw me pacing in the hallway. Long story short, she gave me a quick session. I went in and saw the dentist. I got through it okay afterwards. I went back to Fran. She gave me some books to read. And over the next 3 years, we became good friends. I spent a lot of time in my spare time reading, being hypnotized, learning the process, learning everything I could, reading hundreds of books about all of hypnotic theory. And what happened was in high school I used that as a classroom for both my salesmanship, which I had learned the stimulus response, and also with hypnosis, which for our point of view today has to do with the state of mind. There are many different theories in hypnosis, and I won't go into them all right now, simply to say that a lot of hypnotic or hypnosis theory is based upon a state of mind or an altered state of mind or a different state of mind or blah, blah, blah. We're going to talk about a state of mind. See, because I just told you I had witnessed a total change of a person's state, their physical state, their physiology, by using the words snakes and spiders and mice. And I saw it for myself, so I was very open to this whole concept. Up until then, I'd been studying salesmanship. And the sale begins when the customer says no and objections and all this. Now I was introduced to the idea that we have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind, and we are preoccupied. And that a great amount of hypnosis is spent teaching you, if you're going to be a hypnotist, in how to recognize the state of mind, how to change the state of mind, and how to do suggestion, auto-suggestion, and all that. You should be at angelfire.com, biz, GJ biz, persuasion, HTML. And like I said, we are going to be going fast and furious during this session. So you'll see a drawing. On the left is you, on the right is your target. And you see at the very top, stimulus response separated by a line. That could be a wall. When I was selling flowers, that was an actual door. Somebody was behind the door doing whatever they were doing in their house, and I came in and interrupted them, and that's important to understand this. I think of this as a curtain, a veil, something that you could throw as you see a rock through, and but you can't hear what's going on the other side. You can't see that person. And you see I've written stimulus, response, and cause and effect. On the left-hand side is you. You're the person in that little bubble, and I call these the bubbles of preoccupation, sometimes an igloo. We all live in our own little world. If you look on the right-hand side, you'll see that there's a person living in that bubble, behind the veil, behind the door, behind the wall. You don't know what they're doing. They're preoccupied with their own little things. On that bubble, they're rolling down a track. You see, I've got them on a track, and that track at various times will cross a street. That's where you intersect the person. You'll see on the Pictogrigm that there's an intersection at the curtain. And it says there that their path, their track, and your intersection is your opportunity to exercise some influence, some persuasion. And I say on the left-hand side of that intersection, tell me quick or tell me true or my love, to hell with you. People have very short attention spans, and when they're rolling down their own track, they're preoccupied with things. What are they preoccupied with? Well, above that person on the right, you see Abraham Maslow's pyramid. Do a Google search. It's worth your time, and print out a couple of the pyramids in color to show you what are on people's minds. This guy's done a great study. Nothing's come along since the 50s and 60s to alter this in any way, to give you a good understanding of what are the preoccupations on people's mind. You also see on this Pictogrigm that I put, there are gender preoccupations, gender specific. Male and female have different preoccupations. Every 28 days, a woman may be preoccupied with her period. If you're married or dating one of them women, you may be preoccupied with her PMS during that time period. There are gender-specific preoccupations that you should know about. There's also a preoccupation of the specific, of the now. See, we walk through this world preoccupied in our bubble of these pyramid things that are on our mind, from the base, which is just survival, all the way up to self-actualization. So understand that your target is preoccupied. You are on the left-hand side, and you're trying to create an intersection. And at this intersection, there's a media, and the media is the intersection. It could be the internet, TV, radio, a letter, the telephone, texting. The intersection is of your knowledge. See, the intersection is where your knowledge and their desire comes together. And if you understand their preoccupation, and you develop what's called an elevator speech. If you only got 30 seconds with a person in an elevator to convey your message, your sales message, your persuasion message to them, you have to make it quick, make it easy to understand. If it has to do with love or money, one of their fundamental preoccupations, you have a much better chance of capturing their attention. That's what this whole thing is about. Because without their attention, you're dead in the water. You can't do anything. You'll see on the left-hand side, I wrote Elmer Wheeler. We learned about him in Snakes and Spiders and Mice. Elmer Wheeler said to sell the sell the sizzle, not the steak. He also said, don't write, telegraph, say it with flowers. Don't ask if, but which. Would you like a purple or a yellow bouquet of flowers? And then watch your bark. You can read all that in Elmer's book. And I've also included Robert Cialdini, and if you're not familiar with him, Google him, get the book, read it. He's got his 6 rules of influence: reciprocity, commitment, consistency, social proof, liking, authority, scarcity. If this is all new to you, then you're not ready. You haven't done your fundamental, basic research. You don't have an understanding of what motivates people. You don't know anything about salesmanship, or you don't know anything about persuasion. So you need to go back to square one and start focusing in on some of this stuff. Robert Cialdini, Elmer Wheeler, things like that. In a subsequent edition, I'm going to talk about copywriting. Okay, we see on this Pictogrigm of Persuasion, there's a stimulus response, a cause and effect. You've got to know what that is. On the left-hand side is before, and on the right-hand side is after. After your intersection with them, they should be a happier, a healthier person, or they should have they should have more time, more money, more friends, more fun, more peace of mind. You're offering them more at the intersection. Okay? We know that your intent is up in the left-hand corner, what you have to begin with. What do you want? When and how? I wanted people to give me a nickel for my flowers when I knocked on their door. You get what you want through your knowledge of human beings.